Hello and welcome to Friday's Virtual Networkers meeting. I'm going to press pause and wait for the gang to get here. Yay, I did it. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. I hope everyone had a great weekend. Happy belated Passover and or Easter. I hope you had a great time with your family, a relaxing holiday. We're ready to kick off April's first meeting of April for us. And I'm just going to let a couple more folks in. And while we're doing that, if you could go ahead and go to the chat box, first, last name, email address in there. And of course, we'll send you a copy of that once the meeting is concluded. So let's go ahead. We're going to get started with our 30-second introductions. Remember, ladies, we have to keep it to 30 seconds or less. We don't talk about the weather or any other trite subject. We're here to talk about you and how you are here to change the world. So I'm going to put you on the spot, Carissa, because I know you're in my top left corner on the Zoom screen. So Carissa, could you start us off with your 30-second introduction?
Sure. Good morning. My name is Carissa Clemens. I am an insurance producer with True & Associates. We're located in Westfield, New Jersey. We are licensed in all 50 states. I help businesses protect themselves and watch their bottom lines by making sure that they're fully protected with the correct insurance policies for their business and their operations.
Awesome. We look forward to your presentation today. I'll go next, and then Marilyn. I'm Jill Celeste. I'm the founder of Virtual Networkers. And I started Virtual Networkers because I believed quite firmly that women can connect with each other without leaving the house. It was an introvert's dream for me. And look at us go. We have over 50 members now, 4 chapters around the world. I'm excited to have you all here today. And if you need more information about Virtual Networkers, the website is always virtualnetworkers.biz. Make sure to share with your friends. So next we'll go to Marilyn, then Sherry.
Good morning, ladies. My name is Marilyn Kopaz. I am the owner of Essential Health and Hypnosis here in beautiful but rainy Springfield, Virginia. And I help people achieve their goals and dreams when they don't feel like they can do it on their own. If you really want to make a change and you just need a little help, using the unconscious mind can do amazing things, whether it's leveling up your business, getting over a habit, a fear, whatever it may be. Give me a call. Marilyn Kopaz, Essential Health and Hypnosis.
Thanks, Marilyn. Good to see you. Sherry, then Judy Kane.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Sherry Andrews. I am a small business attorney located in Pennsylvania. I work with female entrepreneurs, creatives, and small business owners just like you to help you move forward with confidence in your business, knowing that all of the legal stuff from business formation to contracts and policies to copyright and trademark is taken care of. That's Sherry Andrews at sherryandrews.com.
Thanks, Sherry. Judy, then Susan Shelton.
Hi, I'm Judy Kane, and my business is Aligned Consciousness. And I help people rewrite subconscious self-limiting beliefs. People come to me for 3 main reasons. Either they've got these emotions that just are persistent in their life, or they've got conscious goals and they aren't hitting them even though they're working really hard at it. Or they've got physical symptoms of stress, because that stress is caused by beliefs. Judy Kane, Aligned Consciousness.
Thank you, Judy. Susan, then Debbie.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Susan Shelton. I'm a wellness consultant in Alexandria, Virginia, partnering with USANA to provide the best of the best to support you on your wellness journey. I know I usually talk about the benefits of supplementation, but I am so excited this week to share with you that USANA has launched 8 new products to help you achieve your wellness goals. Products to support weight management and metabolism, energy and hydration, and finally, our digestive system. Let's do a coffee date and explore these new products together. Thanks. Have a good day.
Thanks, Susan. Debbie, then Susan Driscoll.
Good morning. I'm Deborah Keevan of Highlander Press, and I help women go from, I have an idea for a book, to, oh my God, this is an actual book. I'm in Baltimore, Maryland, and I serve the world of women.
She quoted an email that I sent her yesterday. Oh my God. That's a direct quote. Susan Driscoll, then Suzanne Moore.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I am an intuitive mindset coach, and I work with women who know they're meant for more and they're ready to do something about it. So I work with them to get past their self-doubt, to get some clarity and to start taking action so that they can go from where they are today to where they want to be, get excited about life, and step into the woman that they're meant to be. I'm Susan Driscoll, and I'm in Toronto.
Awesome. Thanks, Suzanne. Suzanne Moore, then Hannah.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Suzanne Moore, and I help independent entrepreneurial women figure out what the 2 to 3 things are that are going to bring revenue into their business quickly rather than getting stuck in, and help them to focus on those things rather than being stuck in their to-do list, feeling like they are constantly in a game of whack-a-mole. If you'd like to connect with me or you have someone that you think might be served by me, you can reach me at suzannetmoore.com, and I am in Hanover, Massachusetts.
Thank you, Suzanne. Hannah, and then Margaret.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Hanne Brøter. I'm a graphic designer and visual branding expert and teacher of graphic design. If you want to learn how to do graphic design yourself, you are warmly welcome to my school. If you need customized and professional graphic design done for you, I would love to co-create that with you. I live in Norway and work globally, and you can find me at brøterschoolofdesign.com or yourbrandvision.com. Thank you.
Thanks, Hannah. Margaret, then Mary Beth.
Well, good morning, everyone, from delightful Dunedin, Florida, on the west side of Tampa. I am delighted that I get to work with really awesome women in their 50s, 60s, and 70s as they redesign their life, whether that's, finding out what's missing in their really good, with their really good job that they have, or what's going on, what am I going to do after I retire? I also have an announcement that I've added a new division. I'm working with divorced wives of professionals, dentists, attorneys, physicians, and I have a program that's going to help them heal. What took me months, years, can take them months. So I look forward to talking more with you about that, and you can find me at margaretmartin.com.
Yoo-hoo, Margaret! Mary Beth and Robin.
Good morning, it's Mary Beth Decker with sacredgrove.com. I'm still an intuitive animal communicator. This week I worked with a cat who had attacked his person. It's a couple, and he got the lady, and it was a bad attack, and we talked a lot about his past life on the streets. To him, it was like living in the zombie apocalypse. And so learning how to live in a household with loving people is something we had to talk about. Mary Beth Decker, sacredgrove.com. Thank you.
Thanks, Mary Beth. Robin, then Tracy.
Good morning, ladies. I am Robin Graham. I empower women to build personal brands and launch businesses for long-term brand and business success. Frustration be gone, no more overwhelm. I'm Robin Graham of Robin Graham LLC, host of the Second Phase podcast, and you can find me at therobingraham.com.
Hey, Robin, good to see you. Tracy, then Stacy. Ooh, that rhymes.
I like it. Happy Friday, ladies. I am Tracy Earhart, and I am a creative consultant with Judy Glenn Incorporated, and we work with promotional items, and we help our clients find that perfect promotional piece that helps them connect with prospective clients, as well as keeping their name in front of the current clients that they have, letting that business continue day in and day out. If you're looking for creative ideas, that would be a great time to have a chat. I'm Tracy with Judy Glenn Incorporated from Oldsmar, Florida.
Thanks, Tracy. Stacy, then Darlene.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Stacy Rowan. I work with entrepreneurs to help them know what makes them unique as business owners so that they can have more confidence and comfort in that role and more success in the business. You can reach me at stacy@custombuiltlife.com, and I am located in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
We have lots of Pennsylvanians here today. Darlene, then Rach.
Good morning, I'm Darlene Elkins, an artistic photographer from Tampa, Florida. In the midst of this sometimes challenging thing we call life, how do you rejuvenate your senses? For your ears, do you listen to music? For your touch, do you take a hot bath? For your eyes, I invite you to feast on the colors and content of my photographs at photographsforthesoul.com or at darlene.elkins on Instagram, and drink it in.
Beautiful. Thanks, Darlene. Rachel, then Connie Jo.
Hi, ladies. I'm Rachel, and I'm a website designer for spiritual entrepreneurs who want to transform their business into an online empire and create a lasting legacy.
Thanks, Rach. Connie Jo, then Laura Templeton.
Good morning from Atlanta. I'm Connie Jo Miller of Enigma Bookkeeping Solutions. I help solopreneurs just like you by taking loving care of the money part of your business. But I'm not your typical bookkeeper. I get to know your business inside and out, and I act as a partner in your business. You'll have more time to do the things you love about your business, and you'll feel confident and relaxed because your books are up to date, and so are you. Schedule a free consult with me today. My link is in the chat box.
Thank you, Connie Jo. Laura, is today your birthday?
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We're so excited you're spending it with us. Thank you so much. So Laura, go ahead, then Kate.
Oh. Well, first I need to say thank you to Margaret for the lovely birthday card. That was such a blessing. I appreciate that. My husband's like, who lives in Dunedin? It's like, I got friends. So I'm Laura Templeton from Bradenton, Florida, recently relocated. So super excited to be here with all of you this morning. I help women, business owners, and professionals find the words to communicate effectively who they are in 30 seconds or less. If you know a woman who's struggling to share her brilliance when it comes to doing her 30-second message, I can help. I'm Laura Templeton with 30 Second Success.
Thanks, Laura. Kate, then Suzanne Bellavista.
Good morning. I help beautiful, creative women business owners to get beyond the blocks of where they are and into the clarity that comes from knowing and expressing exactly what their life purpose is so that they can live a legacy of light. That's what I help people do, to live a legacy of light where they express their inner wisdom, creativity, and radical courage in their life. You can find me at katevarnes.com.
Thanks, Kate. Suzanne, then Jennifer.
Sorry there, it took me a second to find the unmute button. Good morning, everyone. I am Suzanne Bellavista. I am from the western part of Massachusetts, so I'm in the same state as Suzanne Moore, but just on the other side. And I am a spiritual teacher and astrologer who help women in transition get traction to experience the transformation they truly seek at a soul level. And the way that we do that is I help them tap into their inner wisdom, as well as get familiar with what I call their cosmic DNA, that which was shown in the stars when they were born. And it's not that it's predestiny, but it is invitations to be. And so for people who either need validation or have a little bit of self-doubt, or they just want to remember who they are, that astrological chart can give them that extra push. And so together we work to figure out what comes next for them in life, work, and play. You can find me online on Instagram, and I've got that in the chat box, as well as at soulfullivingproject.com. Great to be here.
Thank you, Suzanne. Jennifer, then Audrey.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. I am Jennifer Ressman, your small business content specialist. I'm here to help you build your business content online. I'm with Voyu here in lovely Central Florida, but I work remotely around the country as well. And while you probably know me as the social media marketer, I have adjusted my business to help my clients better, because making content is a big undertaking, and that just, many businesses just can't keep up consistently. So it's now all about creating content for you. You can find me on LinkedIn and at voyu.com. Thank you.
Thanks, Jennifer. Audrey, close us off.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Audrey Washington, and I am a money and credit coach. I help women move into the 700 plus credit score club. My signature program is Debt Free Bootcamp, and I will put my information in the chat. My email is audrey@fiercelyfinancial.com.
Awesome. And look, everybody look over her left shoulder at that sign. Don't quit. Woohoo! Yes. Don't quit, ladies. Love it. Welcome. We're sad to see Rodri. So now we're going to shift to our speaker. So Sherry's going to introduce our speaker today. And then Carissa, if you could go to about 8:40 a.m. Eastern, and then we'll open it up for questions for you. So Sherry and then Carissa, take it away.
Carissa started her career in the insurance industry in 2003 and is a senior account exec with True and Associates based in Westfield, New Jersey. She specializes in the design and implementation of comprehensive, cost-effective insurance and risk management solutions for businesses of all sizes and surety program development. Carissa currently serves as the Vice President and Sponsorship Chair of the Professional Women in Construction New Jersey chapter, and that is a mouthful. She is also an active member of the New Jersey Subcontractors Association, the Utility and Transportation Contractors Association, and the Girl Scouts of Eastern Pennsylvania. Carissa is here today to talk with us about the 7 types of business insurance. With so many different types of insurance to choose from, it can be overwhelming to determine what type is best for your small business. She will explain the types of insurance policies available and how they can protect you, your employees, and your business's bottom line. And I have to say, before I turn it over to Carissa, I have been sending my own clients to her for months now, and they have all been very, very happy with her services. And she definitely, if you need insurance, doesn't matter where you are because their company's licensed all over the United States, she's somebody to talk to. So Carissa, take it away.
Good morning, and thank you so much for having me this morning. And thank you, Sherry, for introducing me to this fine group. And Laura, where are you? Happy birthday. Laura and I go back several years. We've worked together and have networked together. So it's so nice to see some familiar faces as well. Thank you again for having me. Sherry and I connected several months ago to talk about, we actually met in a group, this particular group through Laura's chapter, and we connected and we've been working together the last several months. So what I wanted to touch on today, especially when it comes to entrepreneurs and sole proprietors, is that a lot of times these type of clients end up coming to me when there's a contract in place and contractually they're required to carry insurance. It's somewhat of an afterthought when you're a sole proprietor and you're kind of running on your own. Sometimes, you're so determined to kind of get the business up and running that you kind of forget the fundamentals of how you're going to protect yourself. So you would never buy a new car and not insure it and get on the road and drive. So why would you do it with your livelihood? So I hope today we can kind of have an open discussion about the types of insurance that are available. I'll start with a business owner's policy. A business owner's policy is a combination of a property and liability policy written on one business policy. So what it is that it'll cover you for general liability and then any kind of property coverage. A lot of times it's more cost effective to write your insurance on a business owner's policy as opposed to just getting a monoline general liability policy. So when I speak about general liability, it covers 4 different type of elements. Premises liability. So if you have a brick and mortar, or even if you're visiting offices of clients, maybe not so much right now, but when things open up a little bit, that might happen for some of us again. In the event that you are at fault for, for example, for brick and mortar, somebody comes into the store, trips and falls because the floor wasn't cleaned up, that would fall under premises liability. There's also products liability that will cover you for the products and services if they cause bodily injury or any kind of property damage. And then there's personal injury. So when your business inflicts physical, financial, or mental injury to a third party. For instance, let's say that you take action against somebody who might be, trying to steal something in your store. And it turns out that the accusations were false and you falsely accused the person of trying to steal, and they turn around and sue you, your general liability policy would come into play. And then there's also advertising injuries, which is caused by alleged, misinformation, copyright infringement, slander made by your company. So these are all fall under your general liability policy. The general liability policy would also cover any kind of medical bills or legal costs that you acquire or accrue in the injured third party decides to sue your business. So these will all fall under general liability. The second part of a business owner's policy or standalone is property insurance. So the property insurance is just that. It covers your business personal property, which could be any kind of inventory, furniture, fixtures, stock, computers, things of that nature. What it also can provide is business interruption. So for some reason, your business is you're not able to function due to a covered loss, such as fire, water damage, systems interruption. The insurance policy, the property policy, would in turn end up paying for your lost income during that period of time. Another, in listening to what you ladies do and your specialties, I think the most important thing to understand is that because you're providing a service, I would suggest that you carry professional liability. That by far is the #1 coverage for this group. And general liability if you do have a business owner's policy in place where you have general liability, professional liability is specifically excluded in general liability. So a lot of times people say, well, I have general liability, I'm fine. But what professional liability is, it's known as errors and omissions. So it can protect your business against claims that for a service that you provide caused the client to suffer due to mistake or in part because you failed to perform the service. The insurance will cover the costs of defending your business in a civil lawsuit or alleged errors and omissions. Depending on your profession, you may very well, by law, be required to carry professional liability. The one thing to remember is, I know with a lot of entrepreneurs or sole proprietors that sometimes they use independent contractors or subcontractors. And it's important that your professional liability policy extends to your subcontractors as well. So it's not that it's going to necessarily pick up first party for their errors, but it will protect you and your business if an error is performed on behalf of your contract by them. A few other things just to touch on. Employee practices liability. A lot of times, if you have a business owner's policy, it's an extra added cost. It can provide you coverage for employee practices is failure to hire, failure to promote, sexual harassment, age discrimination. And, it probably sounds funny to speak about considering, you're sole proprietors, I don't have any employees, but a lot of times this coverage will also extend to third parties. And although, we don't like to think that we live in this world, we live in a very litigious society. And if anything, something to keep in mind is that even if the claim is false and there's no merit to it, who's going to pick up the defense costs for you? You're going to end up paying that out of pocket. So it's something to keep in mind. Also, workers' compensation, depending on, insurance is not on a national or federal level. it's run by each state. Each state has different laws, different requirements. I know in the state of New Jersey, if you're an LLC, you're not required to carry workers' compensation unless you have employees. But if you're incorporated, you're required to carry it. And depending on your business, it's relatively inexpensive. But if you have any employees, you should be carrying workers' compensation, even if they're working virtually. It's most likely your responsibility. So I would check the states that you live in to see if it's a requirement. Also, commercial auto. You don't necessarily need to have a commercial vehicle registered to your business to carry this coverage, but if you are out and about and you're visiting clients and you're visiting their offices, you can request that your business owner's policy add, it's called hired and non-owned auto coverage. It's relatively inexpensive. It ranges probably anywhere from like $150 to $200, depending on the carrier. And what it'll do, it'll give you commercial auto coverage for vehicles that are not owned by your company. So it'll cover if, for example, you're in a customer parking lot and you unfortunately run over somebody, it'll then, your insurance, your personal insurance would be primary, but if your business was if they turned around and tried to sue your business because they knew that you were, it came out that you were there for a business call, they're going to go, most people end up going after who has the deepest pockets. And that coverage would then kick in and cover your business. And then another one you may want to consider, and again, a lot of the carriers have some type of throw-in or endorsements for cyber liability. And I don't probably have to tell anyone how, how active cybercrime is nowadays. We work with a national carrier who had a cyber breach 2 weeks ago, took down their entire system. They weren't operating, couldn't underwrite, couldn't, issue renewals. We weren't allowed into their systems for about a week and a half. So it does happen, and it happens with smaller companies as well. So if your business is on an online platform, it is critical that you obtain some kind of cyber liability insurance. It can protect your business from a cyber attack or interruption. It can also protect you for any kind of loss in data, revenue, the trust between you and your clients. It's not only there to protect your internal information of your company, it's also there to protect personal information that you might have of clients. So that's just something to keep in mind there. So cyber liability is written on like a two-part basis. There's first party and third party coverage. The first party is the business itself. So it's helping your business recover from any losses from a cyber attack. The second part covers third party, which would be cover any claims for people who have been injured by your business being attacked. So, often I'm asked, well, I don't have insurance in place. It might be super expensive. What am I looking at? Depending on your operations, and a business owner's policy can run you probably about $500 a year. That would provide you with the general liability, the property, probably some kind of cyber throw-in, hired and non-owned auto. And then depending on the carrier and your type of operations, they might very well be able to throw in an endorsement for the professional liability as well. I see it a lot with my consultants, that a lot of the carriers do offer it. So there's an option to get that business owner's policy and your professional liability written on one. And that's really just kind of a broad overview of insurance. And like I said, listening to you ladies this morning and the type of business you're running, if I had to make a list for you of the most crucial, I would say professional liability would be number one. Cyber, if you're running an online platform, and then your business owner's policy. So I'm ready to answer any questions if anybody has any.
All right, Debbie, look at all these hands. All right, so I saw Debbie, and then I saw Audrey, and then okay, I won't remember you. So stick your hand up again once Audrey's done. Debbie, go ahead.
That was really helpful, Carissa. Thank you so much. I appreciated getting the insurance not retroactively, but in response to things happening. And this is my question. This is Small Business Administration. If you get any sort of EIDL assistance, requires hazard insurance. Where does that fall in the continuum of the products you offered?
I would think that when they're asking for hazard insurance, they're probably looking for liability, or if they're referring to hazards, it might be a certain peril. Now, are you receiving like a grant or something of that nature?
A small loan, yeah.
Okay. So what you might see with loans, and they're going to want to be named as a loss payee, probably.
They actually don't in this particular case, but yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
I'll reach out, but I was just curious if you are getting, because so many people have gotten that sort of assistance. So
yeah, what I can tell you is that I also I have my business ranges, my book of business. I work with small businesses, and obviously from my intro, I do a lot in construction as well, and I also work a lot in the hospitality field. So what I do find with my nonprofits is that if they're applying or receiving grants, the state itself is requesting that they carry general liability. So that might very well be what it is. But if you want, my email is in the chat. If you want to send it over to me, I'm more than happy to read through it and give you my opinion. Awesome. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Audrey, and then I think I saw Kate's hand. So Audrey, then Kate.
Carissa, good morning. Thank you for this wealth of information. Question around the cyber crimes. Can you get that as a standalone, or does it have to be like a writer, either your business owner's policy or the professional liability policy?
No, that's a great question, because you can get cyber liability as a standalone policy. And to be quite honest, the cyber liability standalone policy is going to give you a lot more coverage than any kind of throw-in you can get in your business owner's policy. So if you are online, if your presence is more so online, then I would suggest a full-blown standalone cyber liability policy.
That's helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Kate, go ahead, and then someone else after that.
So Sherry answered one of my questions that I had. I just, at the end of last year, I dropped my coverage as a professional home organizer, which has greater risks, of course, of being in people's homes and touching their property and things like that. So it was kind of costly, I thought. And now I'm moving into more of a consultant type situation. So do you expect that would that generally run less than a consultancy kind of fee? I know you can't answer that without.
No, I mean, can you just remind me what exactly it is that your business, about a little bit more about your business right now?
Right. So I'm a coach who helps women in their businesses, like create names for programs and personal growth type things as well.
Okay. I would say with due to the nature of what you're doing, that you would probably fall in that kind of the lower premium base based on your operations, as opposed to being the home organizer where you're in people's homes, you're touching their property. So I would say it's probably, I don't know what your previous policy looked like, but it's probably going to be less expensive than what you were probably paying prior.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Tracy, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. Some great information, but 2 quick questions. Say an individual wants to put a car magnet on their vehicle to advertise who they are and what they do, but it's not licensed as a commercial vehicle. I'm always concerned for clients when they do that, if it's not covered as a commercial.
I feel like in New Jersey, it's definitely a no-no. But I think it obviously differs from state to state. And you can very well go to the, the states, you might want to tell your clients to refer to the DMV website of the state to see if it's allowable.
Okay.
That's a great
And then
question.
just real quick, I am one of those 1099 subcontractors.
Okay, for other people?
Yes, for Judy Glenn. We're a small company. I know she does carry, she does have general liability and things, but as a 1099, should I consider doing that myself for my own coverage, or would I fall under that?
Okay, so there's been a lot of information released recently from the Department of Labor in regards to what is an independent contractor and what is an employee. And Tracy, I can actually send you some additional information on that if you want to read into it a little bit deeper. But I would, even though they're paying you as a 1099, technically, I think you are still would be considered an employee of theirs.
No,
You're not?
No. We are a 1099 subcontract, independent. I mean, even through the PPP, I had to be independent.
Okay.
So I was just curious, as an individual, should I do that more so than fall under the Judy Glenn umbrella?
I would see what coverage, I don't think having that conversation with her and asking what coverage is in place for the company that would extend to you. And then from there, kind of coming up with a game plan and how you can, properly protect yourself. I would think that are you utilizing like the same systems and platforms when it comes to, okay. Yeah, I would have a more in-depth conversation with the company and see what extends to you. And then from there, figure out where you can fill the gaps or holes to protect yourself.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Great questions, ladies. Yeah, Stacy Rowan and then Susan Shelton.
A question about the cyber liability. If you have someone who's working online, but using all of systems that are other people's systems. So like, I know a lot of entrepreneurs use like Kajabi or things like that, or I know my husband does financial stuff, but he works through, other people's platforms. So he works through TD Ameritrade or something like that. Do you still recommend the individual have a cyber liability as well?
I would say yes. One, I think you have to look into what type of policy the platform that you're using has. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm fine, I use the cloud or whatever. But if you really read deep or look deep into it, they're not going to protect you for a cyber attack. Especially when you're dealing with people's personal information. I highly suggest cyber. So it's really more so depending on the policy of the platform that you are utilizing and if there is coverage.
Okay. I did hear, just because cyber liability stands out for me, because I knew of a company who was held hostage, like the cyber where they hold it hostage. And it took them so long it was a big company. It took them so long to resolve that. It was terrible, scary stuff.
That sucks. Susan Shelton, go ahead.
Great.
I mean,
Okay. Did you want to answer her? Okay. This is very timely for me.
I'm sorry, my connection is a little unstable. Hopefully I come back.
You there, Krista? Let's give her a second to the bandwidth to catch back up with her.
Okay, sorry. I don't know why I'm going in and out here.
You're back. Susan Shelton, go ahead with your question.
Okay, Carissa, this is very timely for me. I have a business policy that was for another business, and my direct sales I just sort of threw underneath it. I retired that business last year, so I'm up for renewal. My business is I'm a consultant.
Okay.
And I deal with a direct sales company. I sell products, but the products don't come from me to my customers. They actually come from USANA, the company that I'm affiliated with, come from them to my customers. So what type of insurance should I have as a consultant? I help people achieve goals and provide advice. And then I represent this direct sales company that sends the products directly to them.
I wonder if she got all that.
And if not, I'll reach out to her personally.
Yeah, maybe have to make sure your internet's still.
Oh,
There it is.
hello, there she is.
Hi, Krista. Yeah, I think her internet's icky. Well, that's all right. Let's go ahead. And maybe Susan get her info.
I'll reach out to her.
And reach out because that was a great question. I'm sure she'll be able to help you. We'll go ahead and just move over to. That's okay. It happens. Don't worry about it. It happens.
Yes. So you had a company that retired last year. You're now working for you're now working with another company where you're supplying their products. I'm sure that they have product liability. I would check with them to see what extends to you, and as do they look at you as like a distributor? How does that work?
Yeah. I'm a 1099 distributor. So
okay.
And they're
I know that there's programs, and we've had a few in-house, I know that we've had like an account or two that sell like Melaleuca, and we've put policies in place for them. But I would suggest that you check with the company as to what extends to you, and then from there, see where you have to fill the gaps.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. I appreciate that. I may reach out to you after I've done a little research. Thanks.
Awesome. All right, ladies, we'll go ahead and switch it over to announcements. This is an opportunity for you to share one or the other. So either an announcement of what you're promoting, an ask, whatever you need our help with, or a shout out. So one or the other. You are welcome to use the chat box for links, or if you have more information beyond what you can say verbally, go ahead and use the chat box. For our guests today, we ask that you use the chat box as well. We won't be able to, because of time, we only have our members do verbal announcements. So if you're a guest, please though, use the chat box to put your announcements in so we can share them that way. So for that, we're gonna start with Tracy Earhart up there in the corner, and then me.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you, Carissa. Great information. And I will check into that. Ladies, I always do a little show and tell. Ooh, I got the shadow going on me now. And I don't remember if I shared this with you, but these are our new logoed cookies. And they are delicious. They're a sugar cookie. They're not that sugary sweet, and it's not that layered edible paper. This is all the icing, and it's stunning. And they come in all kinds of fun shapes. And the nice thing is, 24-piece minimum, and they all come individually wrapped. What a lovely little surprise for people, whether you're having a sit-down meeting, hopefully very soon, or you want to send something. So if you know anybody looking for some creative ideas, that would be a great referral. I'm Tracy with Judy Glenn.
Awesome. I love show and tell, Tracy. Thank you. So I'll go next and then Marilyn. Just want to give a shout out to a couple members who couldn't make it today. Anne is having some kind of doctor thing going on. Laura Clark couldn't join us today. And Kelly is celebrating hair in Las Vegas. Kelly, I hope you're having a great time. Happy birthday again to Laura Templeton. And a reminder that we will have virtual coffee dates April 23rd. That's 2 weeks from now. So please think about who you'd like to invite so we can have a lot of fun at our virtual coffee date party. So with that, I'll move it on to Marilyn and then Sherry.
Hey, thank you so much. My ask, actually, I just launched a totally revised website, and I would really appreciate it if you guys could go on, take a look at it, give me any comments. We had a little bit of a challenge with the certificate and different things. Anyway, I think it's up, and I would really appreciate an honest feedback on it. I have it in the web chat. Thank you. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week.
Congratulations on the website launch. That's always like birthing a child. Congratulations.
Yes, thanks.
Sherry, then Judy.
Hey, everybody. I just have a couple of really quick shout outs. First, Carissa, thank you so much for coming on and sharing very important information with everyone here. And I wanted to shout out to Robin Graham today. I was with her yesterday on her Second Phase podcast, did the interview, and don't know when that'll air yet, but it was a lot of fun. And I just wanted to thank Robin for having me on and for all of the helpful information.
Yay, I love that. Judy, then Susan Shelton.
Yeah, great presentation. Lots of useful information, Carissa. Thank you. I am offering my business alignment workshop again. I'm going to put the information in the chat. It's going to start up May 6th. People have had some really good results with this. So if you're interested, give me a call. We'll talk about whether it's a good fit for you. Thanks.
Great. Thanks, Judy. Susan Shelton, then Debbie.
I had a great coffee date with Suzanne Bellavista. We had a wonderful time. I'm excited to be working with her planner. And coffee dates are so valuable. It gives you such an opportunity to find out more about what the other person does and to share what you do. So I am going to put a link into the chat box for my Calendly link. Hopefully I'm doing this thing right. And I'd love to get on the calendar with some of you all and do some coffee dates.
Thanks, Susan. I have Krista come back in. She must be trying to get on the internet. Debbie, then Susan Driscoll.
I just want to give a shout out to Sherry Andrews because I signed up for a really cool service called Book Funnel. And when you set up all kinds of stuff, one of the questions that it requires for every author is a privacy policy on their website, and you have to provide the link. And so because of Sherry, all of the authors who I have been putting in have their own privacy policy. So shout out to Sherry.
Yay, making your job easier. Love it. Susan Driscoll, then Suzanne Moore.
I too am looking for more coffee dates. I'm looking forward next week to getting together with Laura Templeton. I'm going to put my link in the chat box. And so far, I've really enjoyed the last ones I've done, and they've actually gotten me through lots of interesting new projects with Connie Jo and Judy Kane. So I look forward to meeting a lot of more of you.
Awesome. Thanks, Susan. Suzanne, then Hannah.
So I just want to give a shout out to Connie Jo Miller because last week when my accountant emailed me with those last little things that I needed to do and said, the numbers that I have, they're not matching up. What's going on? I, of course, did the, oh my God. And I reached immediately out to Connie Jo, and she, in like a 6-minute phone call, was like, oh, it's this. And it was like, so, yeah, she's just a blessing. So that's what I have to share.
I love it. Huge sighs of relief all around. Hannah, then Margaret.
Big shout out to Rachel Taylor today. She's not only a web designer, she's a really good friend and can help you with anything related to the digital jungle. So I couldn't do without her. Thank you, Rachel.
I second that. Margaret, then Mary Beth.
Clarissa, thank you so much for the presentation today. Good information. I have an ask. Please join me on Mondays for my Mindful Monday, 12:30 Eastern Time. This month in April, we're talking about the chatter that matters. So I'm taking sections in there. This week, it's about self-talk. So what have you been thinking about this week? So get some clarity on that. And I invite you to join me and also subscribe to my YouTube channel in case you miss the actual live Mindful Monday. It's going to be in the chat.
Thanks, Margaret. Mary Beth and Robin.
Clarissa, first, thank you. I pulled up my insurance that I have with the clinic I go to, and I'm going to be doing some work on that insurance policy. So thank you. I'm at the Animal Communication Summit this month. And even if you're not an animal communicator or healer, there's some great speakers on there and you might be interested. So I'm going to put a link in there. I'd love to have you sign up to get a free pass and see and listen to some of the speakers because they're pretty cool. Thank you.
Thank you. Robin, then Stacy.
Hello again, everyone. So I wanted to do an ask, but since I can only do one thing, I have to do some shout outs. And the first goes to Sherry. Thank you, Sherry, for shouting me out. But honestly, Sherry has just finalized my transition from Robin Graham Photography LLC to Robin Graham LLC so that as I finish writing my book and publish with Debbie, who has made the process so easy, I now have one umbrella instead of just the photography piece. So it broadens my horizons, which is wonderful. And then also Connie Jo, even though I may not like the numbers and what they say, I can't thank you enough for getting me organized in QuickBooks and helping me streamline that process, which I hate. So that's it for me.
Stacy, then Rachel.
Hi, everybody. I would like to give 2 shout outs today. I would like to shout out both Margaret Martin and Susan Shelton because both of these ladies helped me. I had made an offer in this group for a career design overview offered at a discounted price, but I had to charge. It was part of my current certification, and thanks to them, and they both wrote lovely testimonials, which was part of what I needed. I was able to submit that all on time to my instructor. So as soon as my project is reviewed, I'll have my new certification for business analysis. So thank you so much, ladies. I really appreciate it.
That's awesome. Thank you, ladies, for helping her out. Rachel, then Darlene.
I'm back on the caffeination train and opening up for coffee dates. So I'll pop, I'm always on the caffeine train, but you know, I'm not always open for coffee dates. So putting my link in the chat, and also on the caffeination train, I have coffee dates coming up for my networking meeting next week. So if you know any Europeans or potentially Australians, then please share.
Yeah, or get up at 4 a.m. and join her.
Or get up and have coffee.
You'll need coffee at 4 a.m. Darlene and Connie Jo.
If you're already visiting me on Instagram at darlene.elkins, I would love feedback on the favorites you come across. I want to do a feature piece on my website and just knowing what strikes you the most. And if you're not there, I invite you to join. So just a word or two about love this one, whether it be a new one or an old one. Thank you so much.
Love it. I had to go back and make sure I was following you, and I am. Connie Jo, then Laura T.
Carissa's not here, but I just want to thank her for her words of wisdom and remind her about how important insurance is for your business. And if you'd like to give me a shout out because you're so happy the way your books look and that it's off your plate, I'd love for you to schedule a consult with me. My link's in the chat box. Everybody have a great weekend.
Thank you, Connie Jo. Laura T, then Kate.
I am super excited. I've had some amazing coffee dates. So coffee dates are wonderful. And a couple, I just actually was on, it was really cool. I was on a call with somebody from Israel yesterday, Debbie Saxon. So it's amazing to connect with the women from virtual networkers from around the world. So if you're not able to get up at 4 a.m. to go to Rachel's chapter, find them in the directory. And if you haven't updated your directory profile, do it. It is like you can connect Coffee Chats link right in there and make sure that you're connecting with the other women around the world. It's just amazing to have those conversations. And it was just a delight to meet with Debbie from Israel. So Wednesday's chapter this week is an all members meeting. So if, members are welcome to drop in and give us some of your insight from being part of Virtual Networkers for as long as you have been. So it's always fun to have the all member meeting. So if you're interested in joining our, popping into our chapter, this week is all about members.
Thank you, Laura. Hope you have a good birthday.
Thank you.
Kate, then Suzanne B.
So I have dropped a link in the chat about an offer I have going on right now, but today I want to give a shout out to Suzanne Bellavista for her beautiful soulful planner, project planner, and I met with her to figure out what all this Greek means. And I love learning about myself and all these different systems. So it was really fun to experience her training in astrology and how it can help me with my life purpose, which is something I love to learn about. So thanks, Suzanne.
All right. Well, speaking of Suzanne, you're next, then Jennifer.
Thank you so much for the shout outs. And my request this week is very straightforward and simple. I have a Facebook business page, which I have not given much love. And I would absolutely love your help in just getting more people to follow. So if you're interested and willing, my Facebook page is Soulful Living Project, and I popped it in the chat box. So if you're willing to just give a little like, I would so appreciate that. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Thank you, Suzanne. Jennifer, and is that Murph I see behind you?
He's made his his appearance, Murphy. Yeah, he's always really into it.
I can tell.
Taking his third nap already for the morning. Thanks, Carissa, wherever you are, for the insurance chat. Sometimes you just never know what you should carry. If you're carrying too much, not enough. So wherever you are, thank you. And I wanted to shout out to Tammy over at Travel World. And we're going to get together next week, but I'm not sure if she's usually in this group or
She
maybe
usually is, but she's just not here today.
Okay. We're going to get together and talk about the content she has on her website. She wants to, spice it up some so people get more interested, and also with her email marketing. So I'm excited about that. Looking forward to that. And I don't have any other real announcements, but I love your referrals and endorsements over on LinkedIn. If we're not already connected, I'd love to connect over there, and I'd love to give you an endorsement as well. So reach out to me and we can hook that up for each other. Have a great weekend. Thanks.
Thanks, Jennifer. Well, ladies, look at the time. We did awesome. Yay! So next week we have the delightful Carrie Eakins, who I'm going to guess is going to make us get out of our chairs and rub ourselves. So there you go. I will leave that a little teaser for you to think about what that even means. So I hope you have a lovely, lovely weekend. I will see you next week. I'm sending you so much love. Get louder, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Happy birthday, Laura.